Okay, so you have to find out which cycle is dominate in which market before finding out the cycle, because you have to test the cycle, right? Don't worry, I'm going to give you one example. But first, let's get to the book and let's see where are these COR cycles are hidden. We are in page 225 of Tunnel Through the Air, and here we see that W.D. Gann first time mentions the name of this specific cycle, what I'm going to share first time. What this is, the Saint Mary. This is a COR cycle. Okay, this is a COR cycle and it first appears in page 225. These page numbers are also pretty important. You have to put more focus on the text definitely, but you also have to keep track of these page numbers because they are important. So let's see another cycle, the Tokyo J1. This is another COR cycle. Okay, if you see this word, the Tokyo J1 appears first time in the page 287. Again, let's see another example of a COR cycle in the book. Mary, the Angel of Mercy. This is also a COR cycle, and this appears first on page 234. There are also few more COR cycles in the book, but I think these three are enough. If you can get these three cycles, you are good to go. You don't need all the cycles. But let's go to charts. You might have a question about what are these COR cycles? What are the, because these are from the planetary levels. So these has to have planets, some planets related to these cycles, right? Yes, there are cycles, there are specifically COR cycles which has three planets combined, and there are cycles which has two planets combined, and there are a special type of cycles which actually uses only one planet. In total, three different categories of COR cycles. Okay, one planet, two planet, and three planet combinations. And there is nothing like which one is superior than the other. It's like which one is more dominant in your instrument. Like for example, if I talk about the Dow Jones Industrial Average, okay, that instrument uses the Mary, the Angel of Mercy. So if you want to find out the length or the cycle of the Mary, the Angel of Mercy, you have to test that cycle, especially on the Dow Jones Industrial Average. You don't go and test this cycle on other instruments like Bitcoin or Euro or Netflix and other stuff or other stocks. Okay, you have to keep in mind that these COR cycles are instrument dependent. So, Mary, the Angel of Mercy, may work perfectly on Dow Jones Industrial Average, but it might not work for Bitcoin, or even it might not work for any more instrument, like let's say the gold. Okay, so you have to understand the cycle logic. This is the word what is like very famous. Okay, and now I want to talk about why this cycle is very, very famous, and is it as good as it sounds? The thing is, this cycle is very, very famous for one special reason, that this is a bigger cycle and more and captures captures more bigger moves than the lunar cycle, and that is true. I will not say that it will capture the bigger moves very, very accurately every time. You cannot expect a COR cycle to move like this or like this. Okay, there is no planetary cycle that is so large as this line. This is like in between two turns there is 72 days. No COR cycles are that large. Okay, and when I'm talking about the COR cycles, they are if you can actually see here how it does pivot. Okay, so this should give you a very, very good base point to start from. Now the question comes, are they as good as they seem? The answer is yes and also no, but there is also a yes in between that no. Okay, why I'm saying this? Because there are very, very clear areas in market. Not every move is as clear as this. Okay, this move is pretty directional. If I just remove it for a second, you can see that this move in the market is very, very directional. So in these areas cycles work very, very well, whereas in these type of consolidating areas the cycles tend to get a little bit choppy. So the answer is yes, they are as good as they seem, and no, it's not very, very clean in every area. Okay, because if I talk about this area, I don't think the cycles will be, the COR cycle specifically will be very, very good. You might expect the COR cycle to like go like this, but in the real life it might not even be like this so clear. Okay, it might not capture every specific highs and lows, because you have to understand one thing when you are trying to study Gann, that it is it is not our intention, or the cycles are not intended to actually capture every moves. Not, it is not possible to capture every exact market high and every time. Okay, this is something that is not possible. If you still think this, then I think you have to assess your cycle logic, your cycle logic, and also the understanding of cycles. So it could be it could be a very good example of a COR cycle. Okay, but it's really hard to say because I don't have the lunar cycle drawn here. It could very likely be that the lunar cycle has a pivot here, and this low refers to actually this pivot. So I have tried to cover most of the topics, the initial topics that you need to know or learn about COR cycle before starting to search for a COR cycle. Uh, no, I don't think that it's worth actually trying to decode a COR cycle, because it's very, very hard. It's very hard. If you want to find out one cycle by yourself, start with the Saint Marie. But you will know that it is not that easy. Okay, every cycle has inversions, so as CORs it also has inversions, and it also has orb. So sometimes it is going to be very hard for you to decide which is the pivot, because without knowing which is the pivot you cannot be 100% sure about do you have a COR cycle or not. Okay, so this video ends here, and I hope you have a pretty good base for searching and decoding a COR cycle. So have a great day, and I will see you very soon with a new video.